I hit Suge Knight. I hit Suge Knight. City. You ever wonder why we're in debt? It might be because the elite have a $21 trillion underground city.
Hey man, you want to watch this show called Paradise? You know that show's a documentary, right? What you talking about, Willis? They've been building bunkers all over the world for the last few decades.
It's just now coming out.
Catastrophic event. I mean, if you think about it, that's kind of a good idea. We need to save humanity if something catastrophic were to happen. You and I are peasants. We're not getting in there. That's only for the rich. Yep. In fact, it is your money that built those bunkers for them. Wait a minute. They get to poison our food, destroy our world, then hide out in underground bunkers that were built with our tax dollars while we just suffer here on the surface? Yeah, not only did they build them at our expense, but they fully equipped and fully supplied them, again, with your money. You know those ridiculous prices that you're paying for everything? Guess where that's going? No wonder we're $36 trillion in debt. Well, according to Catherine Austin Fitts, a former Bush administration official, $21 trillion went into building the infrastructure for those bunkers. Wait a second. Do you remember before 9/11 when Donald Rumsfeld said they couldn't keep track of trillions of dollars, then everyone mysteriously forgot about it because 9/11 happened? Yep. Yeah. And let's not forget all the gold that went missing from the Twin Towers and the Pentagon. Now it's all making sense.
You ever wonder why we're in debt? It might be because the elite have a $21 trillion underground city.
Hey man, you want to watch this show?
All right. I'd like to start off by saying Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Koholoyim La Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachakodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. Blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect that's scattered abroad, the Akim and the Akwat that's listening in. Yahweh Ratazah, Lord willing, that the lesson is edifying. It's the brother Shawab Amawan back at you with another lesson. And basically the inspiration came from that video right there. All right. And it's definitely, these devils are definitely in their bunkers, getting ready to go into their bunkers. All right. Because of the wrath of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah that's about to come upon this earth. And they know that the wrath of the Lord is coming. This is why over the so many decades they've been building these underground tunnels, you know, these underground bunkers, these underground smart cities, all right, because they think that they're going to be able to escape the judgment of the Lord, which the Lord is allowing them to actually, you know, make those bunkers. And a lot of them are going to survive, these top banking families, all right, only because Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah is going to put them into slavery first, all right. So that's the only reason why they will be able to survive in those bunkers when the time comes of nuclear destruction, because they're going to be the first fruits of slavery. All right. But let me grab this couple of scriptures, short video. All right. And explaining that these devils do have bunkers. This is Amos 9:1. And it says, the judgment of Yahweh is unavoidable. It says, I saw the Lord Yahweh Shai standing upon the altar, and he said, smite the lintel of the door, that the post may shake, and cut them in the head, all of them, and I will slay the last of them with the sword. He that fleeth of them shall not flee away, and he that escapeth of them shall not be delivered. Let's grab that in the NLT. It says, then I saw a vision of the Lord Yahweh Shai standing beside the altar. He said, strike the tops of the temple columns so that the foundation will shake. Yeah, because of the nuclear missiles. All right, bring down the roof on the head. Bring down the roof on their heads of the people below. I will kill with the sword those who survive. No one will escape. All right. It says, though they dig into hell. See, when they digging into hell, that's them making these underground bunkers. Then shall mine hand take them, though they climb up to heaven. Thence will I bring them down. And them climbing up to heaven is them going into these space stations. They have bunkers, they have space stations. These devils got water stations to be in the water. You know, they live in mountains, all of that, man, because they literally think that they're going to escape the judgment of the Lord, man. And because of all this money that they have, man, why you think we out here paying all these damn taxes? You think you out here paying for damn roads and shit like that, all right, which is bullshit, because everywhere I drive is some bullshit with these damn roads. Okay, you think you're paying, you know, these tax dollars for something good. You know, you're really just paying for these devils' technology, these devils, underground bunkers. You know, all the stations that they have, all these different stations that they spend billions and billions of dollars on it, man. You see, they have to pay these damn workers that do these things, man, that build these things for them. Okay. And it says, and though they hide themselves in the top of Carmel, I will search and take them out thence. And though they be hid from my sight in the bottom of the sea, thence will I command the serpent, he shall bite them. Yeah, the ones that are hiding in the sea. All right, Leviathan's gonna come out and he's gonna take their ass. Okay. It says, and though they go into captivity before their enemies, thence will I command the sword, and it shall slay them, and I will set mine eyes upon them for evil and not for good. And the Lord Yahweh, power of hosts, is he that toucheth the land, and it shall melt, and all that dwell therein shall mourn, and it shall rise up wholly like a flood, and shall be drowned as by the flood of Egypt. Okay. So again, all right, the Lord is telling you, you know, no matter what these devils do, whether they dig into the ground and make these bunkers, all right, whether they go into the stars, you know, set their nest in the stars, which it being the space stations, you know, whether they go into the water and hide in their water stations, all right, or the mountains, it doesn't matter. All right, the Lord is still going to destroy this place, man, and they're going to feel the wrath of the Lord. Okay. Now let's grab 14 in Isaiah. This is Isaiah 14, and I'll get straight to the point. This is going to be a short lesson and straight to the point. It says, let's grab it from 12. It says, how art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which did weaken the nations? For thou hast said in thine heart, and let's talk about Esau, I will also ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of Yahweh. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High. See, this devil has a certain mentality, man, that he really thinks he is Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shah, that he is power, that he is God. All right, and it tells you that. And let's grab that real quick. This is 2 Thessalonians 2 and 4. I'll take it from 3. It says, let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come except there come a falling away first. All right, which we already went through those falling aways. All right, different falling aways, especially through slavery. And it says, and that the man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition. All right, and we in those last days where the man of sin has been revealed. All right, if you can't figure out who the devil that the Bible speaks of is, that's because your ass is going to be destroyed by him, man. Okay. It says, who opposeth and exalted himself above all that is called God. You see, this devil thinks that he's the Lord, man, and that he's better than the Lord. That's the pride of thine heart. As the scriptures tell you in Obadiah, the pride of thine heart has deceived thee. Okay. It says, or that is worshipped, so that he as God sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God. All right. And how's he mostly going to sit in the temple of the Lord? All right. He's going to be through the way of the MOTB. Okay. Because scriptures talk about how we are the temple of the Lord, man. Our bodies are the temple of the Lord. So how's he going to be able to sit in the temple? He's going to sit in there with that actual RFID. Okay. And then him thinking that he has the power of your thoughts, you know, being able to control everything in your mind, you know, that's him trying to play the role of God. All right, playing the role of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, thinking that he has power. All right. So back to Isaiah 14. Okay. And 14, it says, I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High. Yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit. You see, it says, matter of fact, let me just get straight to the point. All right, which is in 21's where I really want. I'll take it from 20. It says, thou shalt not be joined with them in burial, because thou hast destroyed thy land and slain thy people. The seed of evildoers shall never be renowned. Prepare slaughter for his children, for the iniquity of their fathers. Okay. See, scriptures like this is what Esau reads, man. And this is why he has a great fear, okay, upon the nation of Israel, man, especially those of the elect. All right, because they know that their time is up. You see, they have that. This is the Lord preparing slaughter. And how is he preparing slaughter? First and foremost, man, he's preparing slaughter through the mouth of the prophets. Okay, let's go back to Salakia. Back to Second Thessalonians, the second chapter. All right, verse 8. It tells you, and then shall the wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth. You see, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. He's consuming them with the spirit of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, man. That's why that great fear has fell upon them, like it tells you in the 11th chapter of Revelations. All right, that after 3 days and a half, okay, let's grab that 11 and 11 in Revelations. It says, after 3 days and a half, the spirit of life from Yahweh entered into them. Entered into who? Entered into the men of the Lord, the prophets, the elect, the 144,000, 12,000 from each tribe. All right, the 12 apostles, okay, that are out here today, basically bringing out this word. All right, and those 3 days and a half represent 350 years. Okay, going from 1620 to, I think it's to 1970. Okay, it says, and after 3 days and a half, the spirit of life from Yahweh entered into them, and they stood upon their feet. Okay, the men of the Lord preaching his word, they stood on their feet. All right, in great boldness, and great fear fell upon them which saw them. You see, this is how you know that Esau's constantly watching us on the internet, man. And great fears upon these damn devils. All right, they're literally watching us all day long, trying to knock off our videos, which at the end it's gonna go away. They're gonna knock off the internet because of this word that's being brought out. But see, we're still out here because Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai wants us to still be out here. So they don't have no control of that, man. It's when Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai decides to take us off these streets, that then, all right, he'll put the spirit on Esau to pretty much knock off this damn internet. Okay, but it's all of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. So there's great fear that has fell upon Esau and all these other nations, man, by seeing us come out here and preach this word, right? So let's go back to Isaiah 14 and 20. And it says, 21, prepare slaughter for his children for the iniquity of their fathers. See, showing you that the Lord deals with people as a nation, and he's going to punish the whole nation of Edom. Okay, and they're going to go into slavery. All right, and eventually, after 1,000 years of servitude, all right, under the rulership of Yahushua, they're going to be eradicated off the face of the earth. Okay, it says, prepare slaughter for his children for the iniquity of their fathers, that they do not rise, nor possess the land, nor fill the face of the world with cities. Yeah, because this devil already has been doing that, man. And as he continues to do that, he destroys the world. He destroys everything here. You see, this is why we got to get out of here, man, because everything that this devil puts his hands on, he destroys it. Everything that he touches dies. Okay. It says, for I will rise up against them, saith the Lord Yahweh of hosts, and cut off from Babylon the name and remnant and son and nephew, saith the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. I will also make it a possession for the bittern and pools of water, and I will sweep it with the besom of destruction, saith the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai of hosts. And how's he going to do that? He's going to do that with thermal nuclear fire, man. Okay, let's grab Isaiah again, the 2nd chapter, going down to point is at 17, no 19. I'm gonna read from 12 though. It says the day of reckoning coming. Okay, this is another reason. Is another explanation of why they are hiding in these inside these bunkers. Okay, it says, for the day of the Lord Yahweh of hosts shall be upon everyone that is proud and lofty. Okay, and we know that the most prideful man on planet earth is Esau. And upon everyone that is lifted up, and he shall be brought low. And upon all the cedars of Lebanon that are high and lifted up, and upon all the oaks of Bashan, and upon all the high mountains, and upon all the hills that are lifted up, and upon every high tower, and upon every fenced wall, and upon all the ships of Tarshish, and upon all pleasant pictures. And the loftiness of man shall be bowed down, and the haughtiness of men shall be made low. And the Lord Yahweh alone shall be exalted in that day. That's right. And the idols he shall utterly abolish. Okay, he's gonna abolish all these idols, all these whack ass religions that were never relevant. Okay, it says, and they shall go into the holes of the rocks and into the caves of the earth. You see, this is them going into these bunkers. Okay, because of the wrath of the Lord. They once they start seeing missiles flying, these devils is going to go and hide in their little holes, which there's already some of them going to hide in their holes now. You know, again, they had, like that guy was just saying, they got underground cities, man. How you think all this, you know, underground, you know, child trafficking, all that shit be going down, man? That shit's going down underneath. Okay, why do you think that the earth is constantly in pangs? Okay, birth pains. All right, because this devil's constantly drilling. All right, to make bunkers, to look for oil, to look for gold. He's constantly drilling in the earth. All right, and that's why the scriptures talk about that the earth, all right, was going to finally be at rest and happy. They were going to rejoice. The trees were going to rejoice. The whole earth was going to rejoice, because there's no longer, matter of fact, let me just grab it. This is back at where we was at in Isaiah 14. That's the spirit. Okay. Isaiah 14:7, it says, the whole earth is at rest and is quiet. They break forth into singing. Yeah, the fir trees rejoice at thee, and the cedars of Lebanon, saying, since thou art laid down, no fella is come up against us. You see, they're going to be happy. The trees, the earth is going to be happy because there's nobody coming up against it anymore. Hell from beneath is moved for thee to meet thee at thy coming. It stirred up the dead for thee, even all the chief ones of the earth. It has raised up from their thrones all the kings of the nations. Okay. All they shall speak and say unto thee, art thou also become weak as we? Art thou become like unto us? Thy pomp, all right, meaning the pride, okay, the power that they have. The pomp is brought down to the grave, and the noise of the vials. The worm is spread under thee, and the worms cover thee. Okay, you see, and I pretty much read that already, starting from 12. All right, and this is why the Lord is preparing slaughter for their children, man, because they have to be taken out of the way. So let's go back to Isaiah 2, and I'll take it from 17. And it says, "And the loftiness of man shall be bowed down, and the haughtiness of men shall be made low, and the Lord Yahweh alone shall be exalted in that day, and the idols he shall utterly abolish." All right, and he's gonna abolish them because the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah created them. Okay, let's grab this real quick. And this is Wisdom of Solomon 12. I believe it's 12. It might be 14. Give me 1 second. Yeah, it is 14. Salakia. This is Wisdom of Solomon 14 and 12. And it says, for the devising of idols was the beginning of spiritual fornication, and the invention of them the corruption of life. Okay, for neither were they from the beginning, neither shall they be forever. For by the vainglory of men they entered into the world, and therefore shall they come shortly to an end. Okay, let me jump down to 27. It says, for the worshiping of idols not to be named is the beginning, the cause, and the end of all evil. You see, for either they are mad when they be merry, or prophesy lies, or live unjustly, or else lightly forswear themselves. For in so much as their trust is in idols, which have no life, though they swear falsely, yet they look not to be hurt. Howbeit, for both causes shall they be justly punished, both because they thought not well of Yahweh, giving heed unto idols, and also unjustly swore in deceit, displeasing holiness. For it is not the power of them by whom they swear, but it is the just vengeance of sinners that punisheth away the offense of the ungodly. Okay. So going back to Isaiah, the 2nd chapter, all right, in 19:18, and the idols he shall utterly abolish, and they shall go into the holes of the rocks and into the caves of the earth, for the fear of the Lord Yahweh, and for the glory of his majesty, when he arises to shake terribly the earth. And in that day a man shall cast his idols of silver and his idols of gold, which they made each one for himself, to worship, to the moles and to the bats, to go into the clefts of the rocks. And it's funny that they go into the clefts of the rocks, because that's where they originally came from, man. Here it is. That's where they came from. All right, their birthplace. All right, and the Lord is making them go right back to where they came from. You see, and like I said, the Lord's gonna put the spirit on men, all right, to actually yank them out of those damn out of them rat holes that they're at. It says 2:21 in Isaiah, to go into the clefts of the rock and into the tops of the ragged rocks, for the fear of the Lord Yahweh, and for the glory of his majesty, when he arises to shake terribly the earth. Seize ye from man, whose breath is in his nostrils, for wherein is he to be accounted there, Salakia, for wherein is he to be accounted of. Okay, let's grab Revelations, the 6th chapter. 1 second. Take it from 13. Revelation 6 and 13. And the stars of heaven fell onto the earth. All right, which is talking about the missiles. Even as a fig tree casteth her untimely figs when she is shaken of a mighty wind, and the heaven departed as a scroll. All right, and that scroll goes into when the missiles hit. All right, it causes that mushroom cloud in the air. It says when it is rolled together, and every mountain in it and is land were moved out of their places. Oh, Salaki. I'm tired as hell. Islands is the way they put it. They put a is and then they put a dash and then land. So it looked like it was trying to say is land. Salakia. It says, and the heaven departed as a scroll when it was rolled together, and every mountain and island were moved out of their places. Yeah. All right. The earth is going to reel to and fro like a drunkard, as the scriptures tell you in Isaiah, the 24th chapter. Okay. It's going to literally move out of his, move out of his axis, basically. Okay. It says, and the kings is the point, and the kings of the earth and the great men and the rich men. And it's funny because that's what they were saying in that video. They were being funny. They was like, oh, we ain't gonna make it in there. That's only for the rich. It's the truth, because it's only for the rich. All right. Who's the only ones that's running from persecution, man? Who's the only ones running around as a vagabond? All right. Esau, these rich, these top banking families, these elites. Okay. We're not running from the Lord. You see, 2/3 ain't gonna run from the Lord because they're gonna get judged. They're gonna get cut off and die. And 1/3 is gonna believe in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. So what is there for us to run? All right. The only ones that are gonna run is these other nations. All right. Esau. Okay. It says, in the kings of the earth and the great men and the rich men and the chief captains and the mighty men and every bondman and every free man hid themselves in the dens and in the rocks of the mountains, and said to the mountains and rocks, fall on us and hide us from the face of him that sitteth on the throne and from the wrath of the Lamb Yahweh Shai. You see? For the great day of his wrath is come, and who shall be able to stand? Okay. Who's going to only be the ones to stand before Yahweh Shai is going to be the elect, those that believed. Okay, because the Lord's gonna what? He's gonna come and beam us up. As the scriptures say, the righteous shall scarcely be saved. We're gonna barely make it out of here, man. But hey, the Lord's gonna be right on time. Okay, the Lord know how to deliver us out of temptations, man. The Lord know how to deliver us out of wickedness. Okay, because of the belief that we have, the faith that we have toward Him. All right, so this is what these devils is thinking, man. Okay, as a matter of fact, let me grab this. See if I find it real quick. This is, yeah, I wanted to grab that. Give me 1 second. Hold on. I know it's a Revelations. Hold on real quick. Might be the 9th chapter. Yeah. This is Revelations 9. And I'll take it from 18. All right. It says, by these 3 was the third part of men killed by the fire and by the smoke and by the brimstone going into those missiles, which issued out of their mouths. Okay. And they're going to still be trying to be in their bunkers when this is happening, man. It says, for their powers in their mouth, which is just talking about the missiles, and in their tails, for their tails were like unto serpents. Okay. Going into when the missile silo shoots up the missiles. All right. It usually leaves that trail of smoke behind it, and it goes up into the air like a snake. It like slithers. Okay. And had heads, and with them they do hurt. All right. Because those missiles turn into, one missile turns into 60 missiles. One missile could turn into 100 missiles, right? It says, and the rest of them, and the rest of men, which were not killed by these plagues, yet repent. See, showing you that there's going to be some that escape, all right, that judgment, okay, of the missiles, but they're not going to totally escape the judgment of the Lord, because the Lord is only preserving them for one reason, all right, to be able to be yanked out of those holes, those rat holes, and he's going to give his men spiritual power, okay, and we're going to be able to go into those holes and yank them out, and they're going to be the first fruits of slavery, which I'll get that in a second, right? It says, and the rest of the men which were not killed by these plagues, yet repented not of the works of their hands, that they should not worship devils and idols of gold and silver and brass and stone and of wood, which neither can see nor hear nor walk, neither repented they of their murders, nor of their sorceries, nor of their fornication, nor of their thefts. And that's Esau and his pride, you see? That here it is, he gonna be on the ground, he gonna know that this world is being destroyed, and this devil's still not gonna repent, okay, on anything that he did. Okay. Now let me grab this, since I just quoted it, Jeremiah 16, and I'll get straight to the point. So like there's a couple good ones here. All right, this is 16 and 16. I'll just get straight to the point. It says, behold, I will send for many fishers. All right, and that's what the prophets, okay, we're out here fishing on the highways and hedges, and we're fishing for the elect, okay? But once the Lord takes us out of there, right, and we're no longer preaching, all right, we're gonna have to be hid from the world for a little bit, all right, until the Lord comes and beams us up. All right, once he beams us up, all right, we're gonna get new bodies, and the Lord's gonna make us, he's gonna turn us into the hunters. We're no longer gonna be fishers, but we're gonna be hunters, right? It says, behold, I will send for many fishers, saith the Lord Yahweh, and they shall fish them. And after will I send for many hunters, and they shall hunt them from every mountain and from every hill and out of the holes of the rocks. You see, out of all them bunkers that they have, man, which a lot of those bunkers, man, they're gonna be left for the elect anyway, man, in the time of starving, you know, when we need food. All right. Yahweh Bashim Yahushua gonna have all these bunkers filled and stocked up with food for the elect, man. Okay. It says, for mine eyes were upon all their ways, they are not hid from my face, neither is their iniquity hid from mine eyes. And first I will recompense their iniquity and their sin double, because they have defiled my land, they have filled mine inheritance with the carcasses of their detestable and abominable things. All right. And this devil has to be taken out of the way, man, as it tells you in Numbers, okay, 35 and 33. Okay, let's grab that. It says, so ye shall not pollute the land wherein ye are, for blood it defileth the land, and the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein, but by the blood of him that shed it. You see, this is why Esau has to be taken away, because he is the one that brought death upon this earth, as the scriptures tell you in Revelations, the 6th chapter, okay, verse 4. It says, and when And there went out another horse that was red, representing Esau, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another. And there was given unto him a great sword, all right, which that sword was his blessing. The Lord gave him the fatness of the earth and the blessing of the sword, which is for him to have military might. Okay, so we know that this devil was taken, he was known to take peace from the earth, to destroy everything here, man. Matter of fact, those that destroyed the earth, KJV. This is Revelations 18. It says the nations were angry. Salakia. The nations were angry, and thy wrath is come, and the time of the dead, that they should be judged, that thou shouldest give reward unto thy servants the prophets, and to the saints, and them that fear thy name, small and great, and shouldest destroy them which destroy the earth. You see? So you got the nations that are going to be mad at Esau. This is why the Lord is putting the spirit of World War III in the air, man, because all these nations are going to destroy America together. As the scriptures tell you in the Revelations, the 9th chapter, all right, 200 million missiles is going to hit America, okay? And it says, and that thou should give reward unto the servants thy prophets, man. What's going to be the reward that we're going to be able to yank these devils out? But first and foremost is going to be of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, because Yahweh Shai is going to get the true glory first, man. He's going to get to destroy all these damn devils first. And then he's going to let the elect get theirs in, you see? So let's go to, where was I, Salakia? Let's go back to Jeremiah 16 and 16. Behold, I will send for many fishers, all right, prophets fishing, all right, for the elect on the highways and hedges, and the Lord Yahweh, and they shall fish them. And afterward I will send for many hunters, and they shall hunt them from every mountain and from every hill and out of the holes of the rocks. For mine eyes are upon all their ways. They are not hid from my face, neither is their iniquity hid from mine. And first I will recompense their iniquity and their sin double, because they have defiled my land. They have filled mine inheritance with the carcasses of their detestable and abominable things. Okay, let's grab Proverbs real quick. Proverbs 16 and 4. Matter of fact, let me take it from the top. It says the preparations of the heart in man, the preparations of the heart in man, and the answer of the tongue is from the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. See, showing you that there's no free will, man. The preparations of the mind, because it says the heart, but the heart goes into la'ab, which means your mind. So the preparations of the mind in man and the answer of the tongue is from the Lord Yahweh. All the ways of a man are clean in his own eyes, but the Lord Yahweh weigheth the spirits. Commit thy works unto the Lord, and thy thoughts shall be established. You see how important it is to follow and acknowledge the ways of the Lord, because he programmed you and your thoughts to be established in the righteous manner. All right. It says the Lord Yahweh has made all things for himself, yea, even the wicked for the day of evil. Whew. You see, he has created Esau just to destroy him, man. Okay, everyone that is proud in heart, meaning in the mind, is an abomination to the Lord. Though hand join in hand, he shall not be unpunished. Okay, this devil's not going to be able to get away with anything, man. All right, let's grab Job real quick. 21. This is Job 21 and 30. It says, let me grab it from I'll grab it from 27. It says, behold, I know your thoughts and the devices which ye wrongfully imagine against me. For ye say, where is the house of the prince, and where are the dwelling places of the wicked? Have ye not asked them that go by the way, and do you not know their tokens, that the wicked is reserved to the day of destruction? They shall be brought forth to the day of wrath. Who shall declare his way to his face? You see, and this is why we go out there on these highways and hedges, man, to declare it to his face that Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai has reserved them for the day of judgment. You see? Who shall declare his way to his face, and who shall repay him what he has done? Yet shall he be brought to the grave, and shall remain in the tomb. The clouds of the valley shall be sweet unto him, and every man shall draw after him, as there are innumerable before him. Okay. How then comfort ye me in vain, seeing your answers there remaineth falsehood? Okay, but the point is that the wicked is being reserved for the day of judgment. Okay, this is Job. Since we're in Job, let's go to Job 11. And it's like here. Just reading something. All right. Yeah, let me grab I'll grab it from 20. This is Job 11 and 20. And it says, but the eyes of the wicked shall fail, and they shall not escape, and their hope shall be as the giving up of the coast. Man, that's beautiful. You see, they have no expectations, man. You see, well, they do have some type of expectation, thinking that their houses are going to continue forever. All right, but but at the end of the day, they're not. You see, because the Lord is gonna cause everything for them to fail, man, and they shall not escape. You see, they're not going to be able to escape the destruction of the Lord, and their hope shall be as the giving up of the ghost. All right, now grab a couple more precepts. This is Psalms 37. Let's grab it from 1 second. Let's grab it from 20. Let's grab it from the 28th verse. This is Psalms 37 and 28. For the Lord Yahweh loveth judgment, and forsaketh not his saints. They are preserved from forever, but the seed of the wicked shall be cut off. The righteous shall inherit the land and dwell therein forever. The mouth of the righteous speaketh wisdom, and his tongue talketh of judgment. And that's what we do. All right. We out here speaking the judgment that's coming upon Esau. This is why he hates us, man. This is why he about to cut off the internet. All right, because as the scriptures tell you in Job, it's a dreadful sound to his ears. All right, to hear this word. Okay, it says, the law of his power is in his heart. None of his steps shall slide. The wicked watcheth the righteous and seeketh to slay him. And how is he watching us right now, man? Watching us on this internet. Bring out this word. Okay. Wow. Look like a straight chariot over there. Kohaloim la Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, if that is. All right. So the wicked watcheth the righteous and seeketh to slay him. This is why he plotting on us now. You see? Because he know that he got but a short time. It says the Lord Yahweh will not leave him in his hand, nor condemn him when he is judged. Wait on the Lord Yahweh and keep his ways, and he shall exalt thee to inherit the land. When the wicked are cut off, thou shalt see it. I have seen the wicked in great power and spreading himself like a green bay tree. Yet he passed away, and lo, he was not. Yet I sought him, but he could not be found. Mark the perfect man, and behold the upright, for the end of that man is peace, but the transgressors shall be destroyed together, and the end of the wicked shall be cut off. You see? Let's grab Psalms 1. And I pretty much ended off on that. This is Psalms 1, and I'll take it from 5. It says, therefore the ungodly shall not stand in the judgment, nor sinners in the congregation of the righteous. For the Lord Yahweh knoweth the way of the righteous, but the way of the ungodly shall perish. You see, so no matter what this devil does, man, he could hide in the rocks, he could hide in the oceans, all right, he could hide in the mountains, okay, he could hide up in the stars, okay, it doesn't matter. You're not going to be able to escape the judgment of Yahweh. I mean, the judgment of Yahweh Shai, man, when that time comes. You see, because it's meant for you to be reserved onto the day of judgment, as we just read, that the wicked was created, all right, for the day of judgment. Okay, he created this devil just to destroy him and call Elohim La Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shah, because this is about damn time this devil gets out of here, man. I'll end it with this one, as a matter of fact. This is Ecclesiastes 10. And 10. It says, I'll take it from 9. It says, why is earth in ashes proud? There is not a more wicked thing than a covetous man, for such an one setteth his own soul to sale, because while he liveth, he casteth away his bowels. This is the point. The physician cutteth off a long disease. Okay, and that physician is going into Yahweh Shai. He's about to cut him off because he's been a long disease upon this earth for a long time, man. Been ruling all these different, different generations, generation after generation. You see, that's why the Lord is preparing slaughter for his children, man. All right. So it says, the physician cutteth off a long disease, and he that is a king today, tomorrow shall die. Okay. So, hey, that's pretty much the point. Lord willing, that the lesson was edifying. So with that being said, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Kol Elohim La Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachakodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. Blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect that scattered abroad, the Akim and the Aquat that was listening in. Yahweh Ratazah, Lord willing, that the lesson was edifying. To the next one, Shalom. Keep fighting the good fight of faith and doing as a good soldier of Yahweh Shai. Shalom.